What's up guys, welcome back for another YgoPro Duel video. New Metaphys support, one of the new archetypes coming out soon. I believe this new card was revealed, I believe last week. Asymmetaphys is great Metaphys support. It's a continuous spell. Its most important effect is that you can banish one Metaphys card from your hand to draw a card. And again, it's a continuous spell, so once per turn you can basically replenish your hand and of course trigger your Metaphys monsters during the next standby phase. And that also counts during your opponent's turn, of course. The second purpose of this video is to showcase the new trap card Shut Line. You know, it's not really a solemn card, but you know what I mean. Negating the same card's activation, either spell or trap or monster effect, when it's activated in the same column as your Shut Line. I'm using both Percy edition because Shut Line is already on the Percy Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro, but I'm also playing on the new YgoPro LINK beta version, where sadly Shut Line is not available. So you'll be seeing two separate or two different builds here, with and without the Shut Line in main name, but it's pretty much the same, right? Don't bother with the Moki Kings here in the extra deck. The version, I prefer playing the Yu-Gi-Oh! Beta version, but they are somewhat slow with updates because of the new Link format and, you know, with the new cards. But again, I prefer playing on that version because, you know, Link format and the new format, but sadly they are a bit slower with their updates. As for the rest, I'm not playing Necrophase. Random banishing is not too great. The Metaphys field spell is something that I might just add in the back again in the main deck, just because you can bypass something like Strike with your Metaphys monsters. The problem still is the same. You need more Metaphys monsters, but I'm sure they'll get more support in the future. The extra deck isn't really too important. Link monsters will be added. Yeah, you will see it in the second profile after the first few replays. I prefer Cut of the Mice here in the main deck over something like Invoked. Well, I played Invoked. Invoked Metaphys is definitely an option, but I prefer the Mice, especially with this new Asymmetaphys draw spell. You have to draw into it. And something like the Mice just increases your chances of opening with it, or at least drawing into it. Desires is a no-go for me, especially because of the low monster count, and you need those monsters as part of your engine. You don't want to banish them. So let's see a few example duels. Right, a couple of replays already, so this is, this is indeed, first of all, Percy's edition, so showcasing Shut Line as well. Shut Line, I think, is set, the first one here, the first spell and trap in the middle. Of course, Shut Line is I think, a lot of people already know the card, right? But it's a card that, if it's legal in your metagame, if it's legal in your format, your opponent has to acknowledge it. You know, like in this case, he did activate its United in the same column as my Shut Line, so I think I have to negate United's activation, since, you know, it could potentially end up being a pot of greed. But you know, the opponent is well aware of it. Best case scenario for him, if he wants to dodge a possible Shut Line, he just should have activated in the same column as my Asymmetaphys continuous spell, right? Just to be safe. So that's something to keep in mind. But you know, Shut Line is not a card that you can just splash into every deck. I think it's well suited for a deck that plays a lot of trap cards, a lot of back row. Yeah, most of the time not really anything continuous spells and traps, since again the opponent knows or probably knows you are playing the Shut Line card and would just activate their spells and maybe traps if possible in the same column as your continuous spell or trap. The opponent is playing with six samurais with, but yeah, still, this is not Link format, and that's one of the reasons why I prefer playing in the beta version, since, you know, the next samurai list will also be like a Brilliant Fusion build. My Brilliant Fusion build, by the way, should be up really soon, without Gateway, since again, Gateway is still banned in the TCG, and it's so hard to play 6 samurai or Shadow 6 samurai without gateways, right? Anyway, second example, double Asymmetaphys, it's fine. I mean, if you open with multiple monsters and multiple Asymmetaphys continuous spells, you can just recycle, get multiple draws and trigger your bigger monsters. I think it was a bit unfortunate earlier with the card of the Mice drawing into double Tyrant, so eventually they end up in the grave. And that's somewhat of a problem, since, yeah, for now, if the Metaphys monsters are in the grave, they're pretty much dead, right? I can't banish them, so something like running the Chaos Dragons, which I did earlier, as you will see in a few replays. yeah, in a few moments to banish those light monsters from the grave. And Invoked can pretty much do the same and special summon a strong boss monster on the field. Double Shen is a problem. Maybe I should have like made another play. I believe it was during the turns before, I believe, like banish a Tyrant and have like what's it called? That I believe it's level 7, right? That special summons, and you know your opponent, the Daedalus indeed, has to banish all special summoned monsters from the extra deck. But eventually he did have another Chalice, or a Chalice I believe, so I don't think it would have mattered that much. Second build, this is on the YgoPro LINK Beta Edition. You see it here, no shut lines, but a little more backrow I believe, an extra Mirror Force in the main deck, another 7-star sword as well, and I believe that's it. Also the upstart in the main deck, but that's pretty much it, right? Pretty much the same build. You see here the link monsters, but again the extra deck is not too important. A couple of synchros were here because of the Chaos Dragons, as you will see in a few moments. But anyway, the opponent is playing with the 6 Samurai, brilliant fusion build, no Gateway of the 6, since again Gateway is banned in the TCG, and if you're playing 6 Samurai or Shadow 6 Samurai in the OCG with multiple Gateway, it will just end up being like, look how powerful Gateway is, and not showcasing the new 6 Samurais. Anyway, the opponent has a good start with Mrs. Radiant, opening up some extra deck spaces, immediately sending Tricklown as well to his grave, special summon it, and set up the Shen with double Solemn. Must be nice, right? Here's one of the replays I was still playing, Desires, but you see double Desires. That's so terrible. I banish like 20 cards face down, and that's terrible. I lose my entire engine, and I already knew by activating the second Desires I pretty much already have lost, or at least lost the duel. He did go for Proxy Dragon, which of course was a good move, sacrificing the Tricklown again, bypassing the Mirror Force. I do play regular Mirror Force, but again feel free to play like more Drowning Mirror Force. Or more, the Earth Mirror Force. Second example, again, use Asymmetaphys to set up the Daedalus, or at least banish another card. Most of the time, it will be like your Phoenix, your Nephthys, to again get a Surge during the next turn. I do play Dimensional Barrier again. It's like a generic good trap card you want to draw, but yeah, barriers, at least Dimensional Barrier is its importance depends on the metagame, right? Here I was still playing the Chaos Dragons, no Guard of the Mice in this build of course due to the Chaos Dragons, but it felt like a bit lackluster, and eventually I just dropped the Chaos Dragons, the Light and Dark Chaos Dragons for, you know, more draw power, like the 7-star sword, Guard of the Mice to increase your chances of opening with your Asymmetaphys spell card. Again, Shen, negating the Mirror Force, and this is exactly game thanks to that, is it level 2 or 3's new 6 Samurai, you know, to reborn something from your grave. And this is a perfect Guard of the Mice, getting like 3 draws, only 1 duality. Again, I'm not really a huge fan of duality, because it prevents your special summoning off of Ragnarok, for example. So that's why only 1 duality, you know, just in case if I open with it, I can just make my opening hand better. A couple of searches and this is perfect, right? Multiple banish effects, set up your next play, and you know, playing against an extra base deck like 6 Samurais, I banish my Tyrant, so during my next standby phase I can potentially special summon my Daedalus to, you know, banish all extra deck monsters from my opponent. But yeah, Strike, one of the best traps currently in the game, negating the Shen, and now I can just get some nice field advantage and eventually deal damage with Ragnarok. Honest is also not in this deck, you know, Guard of the Mice, but it's also something that could be main decked to get your, your Ragnarok damage in, to special summon something from the main deck. Maybe I should have exceeded for something like Tornado Dragon, but you will see it's not going to matter too much here in the end. Both monsters will get banished, the one Ragnarok and the one Tyrant. Tyrant will trigger, since again I banished a Nephthys earlier, but no need to go on. So, final conclusions. Metaphys do need more monsters, but they are definitely getting more monsters. Depends if they're getting more monsters with banished effects, something running like Left Arm Offering, which could be the card destruction for this, as it is for Dark Worlds, like banishing multiple monsters from your hand, get multiple effects during the next standby phase, could be clutch. Card of Sanctity is also something you could play, but I don't really know. You could play it, but I'm not really a huge fan of it. Card of the Mice is currently a 3-off in this deck. It's definitely okay. But if you don't want to run Card of the Mice, feel free to play something like Invoked to get use of your light monsters. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching, and feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. Lithium signing out. Peace.